Hi, I'm Andy Crawford and welcome to the Crawford Cast. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about inspiration for writing. Now I'm lucky enough to have a muse in Katie, but if you don't have a muse, don't worry. There's still plenty of ways that you can get inspired to write. So I've got my poncho on, I've got my hot chocolate, and I've got a few minutes ready to spend with you. Let's go! Now, the first problem you might come up against is a lack of ideas, and for me, this comes down to whatever I'm obsessing about. Whenever I obsess over games or manga or anime, I seem to only want to write about those things. But this can be productive without breaking copyright laws. All you need to do is take your favorite element from those pieces and put a new slant on it. This is actually how 50 Shades came to be. It was originally Twilight fanfiction. Would you believe it? Me neither, but it was. So think about that thing you're obsessing over, whether that's a game, a book, a movie, or something like a hobby that you do in your day-to-day life, and really decide what it is about that that's capturing your attention. From there, it's easy to just go ahead and write about that one little thing, and you can think of another setting to put it in so that you're not breaking any rules. Of course, the other option is to actually write fanfiction, which you can't make money from per se, but you can put it on things like Wattpad and AO3 just for the fun of it, and of course everything you've learned while you were writing it. Because unlike a lot of writers that I've met, I don't see a problem with fanfiction. I really like reading fanfiction and writing it. I mean, you can see me on Wattpad as Bandy Crawford, so go check that out, the link will be below. But yeah, I love fanfiction, and I think that when you're really that passionate, everything else comes together with it. You really learn the lessons that you need to get, and your writing will improve whatever you're writing, as long as you keep pushing yourself for a better and better story. So that's two options right there. You can take something from something you're obsessing over and make it your own, or you can just roll with it and enjoy the process and see where it takes you. A lot of the time it will take you to places you didn't even know you were going and form a story. But what if you've already started a story and you're now stuck? That's another common problem. For me, this happens more when I don't have an outline, so there's always that option to go to. But remember, there are plenty of pantsers out there, that's people who don't bother with outlines because they don't need them, who are really successful. So if you do know where your story's going, one thing I do recommend is the Pomodoro Technique. But I can tell that you're asking me, what is the Pomodoro Technique? This is a technique where you just take short bursts of time and you write non-stop. Just like free writing, but a little more centered. Then you take a break and you come back to it again. People do this from anything from 2 minutes to a whole hour, but I prefer to go around 10 minutes when I do this. If you know what you're writing, it usually pushes you forwards, because everyone can do just 10 minutes, right? And if you don't, then you put down some words and maybe something is sparked that way. Or at least that's what happens for me. Then there's also my nemesis, but I'll tell you about it anyway. And that is free writing. Free writing is when you grab a timer, you get a pen or a keyboard, and you just write everything that comes into your head. If nothing's coming into your head, literally write, nothing is coming into my head. It will seem like utter garbage. Or if you want to be pretentious, you can call it stream of consciousness, which is a lot nicer term. And usually this will spark things for people where they find a line or a sentence that inspires them. It doesn't particularly work for me, but I know a lot of writers who use it with great success. By the way, sorry you can hear so much traffic. I am actually outside right now, enjoying a little fresh air, which brings me to my next tip. Getting out of your comfort zone and going outdoors. I know that it makes me sound like a total hippie, and let's be honest, I kind of am. But getting outdoors really resets my head. Even my 7-year-old brother knows that if I want to go outside, I'm going to reset my mind. It's a really good technique for clearing things up, getting some space, and coming back to your writing with a fresh perspective. Plus, it's not going to do us any harm, especially in this day and age where we're indoors so much of the time. Getting back to natural roots is good for us in so many ways, and writing inspiration is just one of those. But while we're on the subject of getting out, there's always turning to other creative outlets. I personally like to go to art galleries and film festivals and things like that, to see what other people are doing. Now, this might not be your niche, but I'm sure that you can find one that connects in some way. For example, if you're a sci-fi writer and you're really struggling, the best place for you to go is going to be somewhere like Comic-Con. Chances are this is what got you into writing, it's what gets you excited and inspired. And that is exactly what you need right now. You can't think of what to write, so let the ideas come to you. And don't beat yourself up if you really can't work out what to write and you feel like you're wasting time by gaming or reading or any of those good things that you usually treat as a reward, because it's all part of a process. We need this. Take my piece, Blinky's Pizza. I was obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's at that time, and all I could think about was animatronics. So I paused my other stories, and I got to work on something that really inspired me. And it's doing pretty well. On Wattpad. So, just to recap, because my time with you is getting short, if you can't think of an idea, turn to what you're obsessing about and what really makes you happy. It shines through in the writing. It doesn't matter whether you're producing fan fiction or something inspired by it. The point is you're producing and getting better every day. And if you've already started a project and you're stuck, try the Pomodoro methods or a little bit of free writing. Go outside, get some air, go to an art gallery. Do something fun that isn't writing, because when you're a writer, everything comes back to the words anyway. You'll get inspiration that way. And on a final closing note, if you can get a muse, do. Katie, you are awesome, and you are the reason I'm producing so many books and daring to come here and do the Crawford Cast, so thank you, sweetheart. Okay, I've been Bandy Crawford, and this has been fun. I will see you in another one. Feel free to leave me comments below on what you'd like me to talk about next. Peace out!